So I'm gonna be like screencasting my film opening, and I'm going to explain my technical choices and like what they mean to the opening. So, all right. So for those two shots, that was fairly easy to get, but in order to like reduce windy noise in like the background, I used voice memos to get like a close up of like the bike and scooter moving, just so I can get a clear audio. And also, I did slow down the clip because it did go too fast when editing. So so essentially, I went on YouTube and I found a car crash audio because that scene, like right here, like we stop it right as the bike and car collide, and basically like we were having some trouble figuring out how we were gonna get that shot, and essentially that was my brother's idea, which is my main actor. So I did get the car crash audio to kind of like confirm that that's what the scene was indicating. So all right, so the beeping sound is I decided to include that in my opening because like he got hit by a car, he's unconscious, so it's essentially alluding that he is in the hospital while this whole thing is happening. Essentially it's a flashback, I would say, to what's happening. It's not going to show in the hospital, but it's going to basically like allude to like foreshadow basically. So, and this bike sound, I had trouble getting it with my brother's bike, so I did have to get it off YouTube. Also, a lot of my sound effects in this opening is from YouTube. So so essentially what I'm doing here, the reason why I decided to like cut it to him like getting his last breath in was to basically raise tension in the audience to like be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So that's mainly why I decided to do it like that. And that's the end of the opening. I decided to have it as a gravestone because it's basically telling the audience, oh, he took his last breath, he passed away. And that title, if you didn't see my blog post about it, the title I Hate Wheels is basically like, Chris got hit by a car and it was also on wheels. And in the script, it does tell us that like they used to play like in scooters and bikes all the time. So essentially, Matthew, the main guy, me, one of the main guys at least, Chris is the main guy, um, hates wheels now because if it wasn't for them riding on wheels, Chris wouldn't have gotten ran over and he would still be here. So I think that is the end of it. That's the end of my film opening. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole screencast and explanation. And yeah.